The whispers of a cursed golden horn lure three friends, Ola, Naya, and Tommy, on a perilous quest through a mystical Nigerian land. Their journey tests their courage, wisdom, and loyalty. In the quiet village of Iroko, Ola grew up listening to stories of great warriors. While others farmed and fished, he would stand on the hilltop staring at the horizon, imagining adventures beyond the village. His heart longed for something greater than a simple life of tending goats. The elders often scolded him for his wandering spirit, but Ola's courage and curiosity only grew stronger with age. In his dreams, he saw visions of a glowing horn hidden deep within a cursed forest. He believed it was destiny calling his name. One evening, a weary traveler named Ida arrived, carrying tales of distant lands. Around the fire, he spoke of the golden horn, said to grant the strength of 10 men and the wisdom of the ancients. His words lit a fire in Ola's heart. The elders warned that many had gone in search of the horn and never returned. But Ola felt his path was clear. His friend Naya, skilled with the bow, and his cousin Tommy, ambitious and clever, agreed to join him on the dangerous quest. Before leaving, Ola's mother grasped his hands and begged him to stay. "Glory is empty if you do not return alive," she whispered with tears in her eyes. Ola promised her he would come back, though his heart was already set on the journey. That night, Ola, Naya, and Tommy gathered under the moon and swore an oath. They would not turn back until they had found the golden horn. The stars above seemed to sparkle in approval, sealing their pact. The three companions set out at dawn, leaving behind the safety of their village. At first, the path was simple, filled with laughter and songs of courage. They carried dried meat, gourds of water, and weapons for protection. But as the days passed, the forest thickened, and the air grew heavy with silence. Strange cries echoed in the night, and the ground itself seemed to tremble as if warning them to turn back. Eventually, they reached River Aya, wide and wild. As they tried to build a raft, the water surged, and a booming voice rose from the depths. To cross safely, each must confess the truth hidden in their heart, the river commanded. Ola admitted his thirst for glory, and the river swirled gently around him. Naya confessed her fear of failure, and the waters calmed. Tommy hesitated, then muttered a half-truth about loyalty. The river parted, but the current whipped angrily around him, foreshadowing betrayal. Beyond the river lay the dreaded forest of shadows. The trees grew tall and twisted, blocking out the sun. At night, strange whispers echoed through the branches, luring them into confusion. They huddled around a small fire as glowing eyes peered from the dark. Naya's bow was ready, Ola's spear firm, while Tommy kept glancing over his shoulder, unease etched on his face. At dawn, a monstrous beast emerged from the shadows, an enormous panther with iron claws that tore the earth like paper. Its roar shook the ground, scattering birds into the sky. Ola charged forward, spear in hand, while Naya's arrows flew swift and true. The panther fell after a fierce struggle. But Tommy had not lifted a hand to help. His excuse of fear rang hollow in Ola's ears. After days of wandering, they stumbled upon a deserted village. Huts stood empty, meals lay half-eaten, and the air carried the weight of sorrow. No one answered when they called. On a cracked wall, they found carvings warning of a curse that devoured all who sought the golden horn. The companions pressed on, though unease gnawed at their spirits. One night, a stranger invited them to a feast in the forest clearing. The table overflowed with food and wine, too tempting for weary travelers. But Naya noticed the stranger had no shadow. She whispered to Ola, and together they refused the food. Tommy, however, ate greedily. When dawn broke, the feast vanished, and Tommy lay sick and trembling. The trickster had nearly claimed him. They reached a towering stone statue, carved like a warrior with a raised blade. As they stepped closer, its eyes glowed, and it moved. Turn back or face the trial of strength, it declared. Ola fought the guardian with all his might, his spear clashing against stone. With Naya's guidance, he struck the weak spot at its knee. The guardian crumbled, but not before warning, strength without wisdom would destroy you. In the heart of the forest, they discovered a lake so clear it reflected not their faces, but their true natures. Ola saw himself as a leader surrounded by people. Naya saw herself guiding children with wisdom. Tommy, however, saw only himself on a throne, holding the golden horn. He turned away quickly, hoping the others had not noticed his dark vision. As they slept, giant spiders descended from the trees, spinning webs around them. Ola woke first and cut himself free, slashing the creatures with his blade. Naya fired arrows with deadly precision. Tommy panicked, tangling himself deeper. Ola saved him, but Tommy's resentment grew. In his eyes, Ola was no longer a leader but a rival standing in the way of his ambition. That evening, Tommy sat alone by the fire, brooding. A dark figure appeared in the smoke, whispering promises of power if he claimed the golden horn for himself. Though frightened, Tommy listened. His heart grew heavy with envy, and his loyalty began to crumble like dry leaves underfoot. The companions entered a cavern lit by thousands of glowing fireflies. Their light revealed paintings of past heroes who had failed the quest. Some were struck down by greed, others by fear. Ola studied the walls carefully. This is not just a journey of strength, he said, but of the heart. Naya nodded, while Tommy scowled in silence, his mind already plotting. At last, they reached the inner cave where the golden horn rested upon a stone altar. A deep rumble filled the air, and from the rock rose Egba the ancient, the spirit guardian. Only the worthy may claim the horn, Egba warned. Bravery, wisdom, and selflessness must guide you. The spirit's voice shook the cavern walls, but Ola stood firm. Before Ola could step forward, Tommy lunged. He shoved his cousin aside and seized the horn with trembling hands. "It is mine," he cried, his eyes wild with greed. But the horn grew hot, burning his flesh. The cave trembled, and Egber's voice thundered. "Greed shall be your chain." Tommy screamed as his body melted into shadow, bound forever to wander the forest. Egber turned to Ola and Naya. "Bravery alone is not enough. You must prove your wisdom." He tested them with riddles of the earth, the stars, and the heart. Together, Ola and Naya answered with patience and honesty. Where one faltered, the other supported, proving their bond was stronger than fear or pride. A wall of flames rose between them and the golden horn. Ola shielded Naya with his cloak as they pushed forward. Each step burned, but they endured together. When they emerged from the fire, the spirit's voice softened. "You have suffered for each other, not for yourselves. That is true strength." Ola and Naya carried the golden horn back to their village. The people gathered in awe, touching the horn with reverence. Under its guidance, disputes were settled, harvests flourished, and peace reigned. But Ola remembered Tommy's fate, and he kept the horn not as a weapon of power but as a symbol of wisdom. He used it sparingly, only when the people truly needed its light. Years later, Ola's name became legend across the land. He was remembered not only as a warrior, but as a leader who placed his people above his own glory. The story of Ola the Brave was told to children around fires, teaching them that courage must walk hand in hand with wisdom, and that greed leads only to ruin. The legend of Ola and Naya lives on, a tale of two heroes who chose wisdom over power. Their legacy, a flourishing village guided by peace and shared knowledge, stands as a testament to the true value of the golden horn, a treasure not to be possessed, but to be shared. I hope you enjoyed the story of Ola, Naya, and Tommy. For more adventures and tales, be sure to like, share, and subscribe.